Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dice Cast. I am Russell, and with me I have.
Fishman.
Well, last we left off, Aquans Jonas had made it into the mysterious facility which had been referred to in the notes they found on the Isle of Fog. This facility turned out to be a large mansion that was run down, filled with undead and constructs and mechanical traps of all sorts. Inside, exploring the mansions room by room, they are able to uncover a variety of crests needed to unlock a puzzle door, which led into the true laboratory, which is described in the notes, which was below the mansion behind a sealed door. Additionally, they found the arcane flux generator, which had been generating the shifting fields of magic energy they had been encountering on the time of the island, and they managed to deactivate it. Barely.
Yeah.
However, this brought an end to the shifting fields of wild magic, null magic, and high magic zones, making it far easier for them to explore this island. They also, behind the sealed door, after they found the three crests, they encountered what you see before us, a crypt-like room set up as an impromptu chapel by an undead priest known as Hikuva, which seemed to be the guardian of this area. Defeating this fallen cleric took everything our wizards had, and though they proved victorious, they are exhausted. And behind the altar in this room, they see a door to continue through.
Yeah.
However, first, as we come into this, as I said, we are thoroughly exhausted,
I have a single spell slot left.
and I have none.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that was a tough battle.
we're considering it sounds like there's an entire facility beyond this mansion below. It's probably a good idea for us to take yet another long rest
Number four?
for on this island. Yeah,
I know. This is the most we've ever taken.
yeah. It's been basically, I think, almost one a session.
Yeah, which is unheard of for us.
Yeah. Well, we wanted this to be difficult. All
Yeah,
right.
I think we accomplished that.
So I can set up some alarms at the two doors,
Sure. I'll set up
please.
the hut.
Yeah.
I'll take first watch because I want to do one thing before I go to sleep.
All right. All right. So you're taking first watch.
Yep. I want the rolls for that.
Sure. We'll start with that.
Natural 20.
All right. You are very alert and observant
Yeah.
and on your watch. All right. So before we get to if anything happens, what is it you want to do on this rest?
The Ring of the Ram is spent. This long rest will not have us cross dawn. So I want to reattune to my Ring of Spell Storing. And I'm going to take that last second level spell slot. And I am going to put mirror image on it.
Yeah. You have more than enough time during your watch to reattune to the Ring of Spell Storing and to store your sole remaining spell on it.
Yeah. So there are two spells on it currently.
All right. And your watch goes by uneventfully. This room has become as quiet as the grave.
Yeah, it smells real nice in here too.
Well, yes, but at the very least, nothing comes to molest us. And
Yeah.
then you wake me for my watch.
And I have a nap.
Yep. And well, not as good as you, but I have a 16 on watch.
Yeah. I'm not happy I wasted a natural 20, I'll tell you on this.
All right. My watch is equally uneventful. It seems we've dealt with most of the monstrous inhabitants in this mansion.
Yeah, can't be a whole lot left.
All right. So, refill your hit points, replenish your spell slots.
Yes. Woohoo! I have magic again.
Yeah, you change your spells around if you want.
I had a look.
Mhm.
I don't really see any. I mean, I don't know what's ahead. We don't have any precognition in that way, so I think I'll just leave it as is.
I've used my scroll of see invisibility before, and I don't want to be fooled by that again. So I'm gonna unprepare web and prepare that instead.
Okay, I have a web scroll.
Yeah. All right. I get two new portents.
Put that over there so I know what I have on that. Okay,
All right.
all set.
All right. So we wake up, the dome vanishes, and we are greeted with a very chilling air in here. It is quite cold. It is early in the morning. Not dawn is not approached yet, but it is so the sun is still set. But we are definitely early in the morning, probably at the 2 or 3 hour in the morning mark.
Yeah, we don't keep regular hours. All
No, we do not. So it's quite cold
right,
because
wrap my thick woolen uh, cloak about me.
yes,
I'm not going. I'm going to leave my stone attuned to Constitution.
yeah, okay, all right.
I'll just
So
shiver.
if we want to continue exploring this island, there is one direction for us to head in at this point, and that is the door behind the altar.
All right. After breakfast, I assume it's going to be cold because
Yep. Mark
yeah,
off
here.
mark off another day's worth of food.
Yeah. Wow. Not a lot of food, so I think we'll be fine. Yeah, and then I'll go examine this door.
All right. It's a it's a set of double doors, wooden, metal reinforced. They look a bit more sturdier than the mansion doors that we've encountered up until this point.
Do they look rusty at all, or they look better kept?
There's the metal is some rust on them, but they're still more intact. These doors were probably more reinforced to begin with.
Right. Okay. Well, is it locked? I'm gonna examine the door, search for traps,
Okay,
see if it's.
roll an investigation check.
Oh, wasting all the good rolls. 25.
55. All right. It is not locked, nor is it trapped.
I will open the door.
All right, you open the door. Beyond the door is a small, it's a very small room in which there's no graphic for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In the center of which is a basically an object that looks like a metal cage with gears and pulleys and a chain attached to it.
Elevator.
Yes, quite reminiscent of ones you might find in mine shafts.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you going to enter it?
How secure does it look? Like the chains look relatively fresh, unrusted,
Uh,
crumbly rusted. I use my transmutation metallurgy skills to have a look at them.
you. It looks relatively intact compared to everything else, and based on the level of wear and tear we've seen elsewhere, you suspect there may be some magical means powering and possibly protecting this lift.
All right. Have a quick look for traps. In we go.
All right, you can roll another investigation check if you want.
17.
17. It is not trapped as far as you can tell.
All right.
All right, so we enter the lift.
Yep.
there is a lever on the side which seems to control it. There are only two positions: up, which is currently in, and down.
Well, that answers my next question, so I'll pull the lever down.
All right, you pull the lever down, the doors automatically close in front of us, and we hear the sound of gears turning and chains lowering as we start to move down.
Okay.
We go down quite a ways.
Can I judge how far we're going?
Intelligence check.
15.
15. We're going down a good 50 feet.
Okay.
So we're probably going to be pretty far below the mansion at this point.
Below sea level.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And when the lift comes to a stop, now you can move ahead.
All right. Oh, more fun things.
All right. So we're over in this section where the
Yeah. Kind of figure we're over here
yeah,
with the chains and everything.
where the representation of the lift is. Yes.
Yep.
So as we come down, the doors in front of us open automatically.
Yep.
So there is light in here. There are torches and sconces that you can see. We can't, and we see that the walls in here are curved, and they curve ahead into what appears to be a room. So we can only see in this initial first section here.
By the way, this is a real cool graphic, by the way, you did.
Thank you.
First off, these can't be real torches in the sense of something burning.
They are indeed on fire.
Is it hot?
You want to reach your hand out to see if it burns you?
I'm not going to get that close, but yeah, magical torches sometimes don't give off. Well, they don't give off heat. Is it hot?
I will check one thing for a moment. We dealt with.
I know there's a spell that you can create torches with.
Yeah. There's no warmth to them, nor is there any smoke.
Yep, that's what I figured.
Yeah, we've encountered the skulls upstairs. The candles they encountered had a continual flame spell, and we suspect this is the same.
Yep.
And there are numerous down here. So
Yeah.
there's actually bright light that we can see with.
Yeah. Weird. Okay. Well, if we weren't wizards, we could probably collect a few of these, but we are wizards, so we don't care.
Uh, I'd like a perception check, please.
Natural one.
All right. We you all right. So what do you want to do now?
Yeah, step out of the lift, walk
Yes.
along this curved sort of passageway until I get to here, and then I'm gonna have a look
And you look at the room before you.
with the corpses.
Yes. All right. So we come to this room.
Yeah.
There are more ever burning torches in here. So it is lit up, which unfortunately means you can see what's in here.
Yeah. Someone was doing some kind of less than pleasant research on bodies.
Yes. So there are 5 corpses in here
Yep.
on these slabs.
Mm-hmm.
And these the blood stains here are dry, but there's clearly evidence of the fact that some grisly work has been done here. There are 2 work tables set up with laboratory equipment on them,
Yeah, I see that.
and there are 4 desks set up for writing. With
Yeah, books and ink and stuff.
yes,
All right. Without going too close to the cadavers,
mm-hmm.
in other words, I want to stand roughly with here, have a look at these guys, and do they look recently dead? Or is this something that's happened forever ago?
I guess that would be a medicine check on your part.
Yep. 12.
12. All right. Uh, They don't look very recent, but you do notice the fact that they haven't completely decomposed to the point of being skeletons.
And they're not like mummified or anything.
No, but beyond that, it's a little hard to tell.
So, not 500 years ago, in other
No,
words.
considering it's been centuries since supposedly anyone has been here. On the other hand, there have been a large number of undead on this island.
Well, I've smelled undead before. Do these smell like undead? Kitty
Uh,
cat
there's
out.
this there's a strong scent of decay in the air.
Kitty cat out. She has a better nose than us.
Right? I will
Ah,
summon Alice.
have a sniff.
Right,
Sniff.
and let us see.
She knows what undead smell like.
Yes, she does. Right. With that roll, it's difficult. There are definitely dead bodies that have decomposed to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But with that roll, it's hard to tell if they're just dead or undead.
All right, this is not going to cost me anything, so I will firebolt the nearest one.
All right. So you have visual range on three of them. I assume you just want one in the middle.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Make an attack roll.
They're prone. So this is a disadvantage.
They're not moving, so I'll say advantage and disadvantage cancel out.
That'll be a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Is there a response?
So the firebolt leaves your wand and strikes the creature
Yeah.
or the corpse.
Yeah.
There's a flash of flame as the firebolt explodes against it.
Yeah.
Now there's this bit of smoke and the scent of burning, decomposing flesh.
Yeah.
But the body doesn't seem to react at all.
All right. Okay. Let's investigate this room.
All right.
Let's
Yes.
start.
You might want to be careful where you step.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for sure. I want to
Though, to be
investigate.
fair, the bloodstains do not look recent.
Yeah. Check out the lab equipment. Check out the book stand. See if there's anything written of interest. And I guess we better have a closer look at these bodies too.
All right. All right. So we're going to be covering a lot there. So I'll probably have to break this down into a few rolls.
All right. Desks. Sorry, the lab equipment first.
All right. Do you want here? I have a. Oh, you already rolled.
Yeah. 18.
All right. 18. Well, you have a strong background in alchemy and potion making, and there's a variety of equipment up here that's used specifically for that purpose. There's a mortar and pestle, there's beakers and tubes. That there's a cauldron there that has what looks like at one point would have been some sort of concoction and process, but is long since mostly evaporated. There's mostly mold in the bottom.
Okay.
Both of the equipment has not seen much use in recent days, you think?
Days, weeks, months, years.
It's difficult to tell. Not anytime soon, you suspect. Certainly not when we've been here, not any. It could have been, I mean, like I said, the cauldron's anything liquid or water based inside that cauldron has long evaporated and left just a bit of mush in the bottom.
Depending how high the water level or whatever level was in there, that could take some time.
That could, yes.
Anything of use?
No, from your most of these alchemical ingredients are a bit outside your area of expertise. Based on the looks in this room, you suspect that necromancy has probably been done here. A lot of the reagents here will have been used in potions or spells for that purpose, and neither of us is very knowledgeable in that field.
Nor do I want to become so.
No.
All right. Next is the writing stations.
So before I say this again, because this is going to take some time if we both. So there are two ways that we can go about this. I can assist you and grant you advantage on your investigation checks, or I could roll my own one. The main advantage is if we split up and focus on two different things, it goes a bit quicker. But
I'm not in a rush.
all right, what's next?
Writing stuff.
All right, the desks.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. All right, we go around. It takes, again, a few minutes per. So it's going to take us probably about a good 20 minutes, if not, or close to half hour to look through all of the notes because
That's fine.
there are 4 desks at different points in the room. All right,
This
the
seems
notes here
fairly
point.
important.
Yes, the notes here point to this that the floors of this laboratory are each dedicated to a different field of research that was being undertaken on the island, and this was indeed the floor dedicated to necromancy. That fresh cadavers will be brought here normally for processing and reanimation, which appears to have been what these were in the process of doing when things went wrong.
Is there any kind of time scale referred to in these notes?
The last few pages of the notes refer to the coming catastrophe, and they mention the barrier becoming inverted. So you think it's got the same sort of time scale some of the other notes we found are.
All right, so the notes at least are from 500 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
You do note, however, that these notes have not deteriorated at all.
Hmm. All right. While I'm examining the first one, I noticed this, I assume.
Yes.
I would like you to ritual cast detect magic while I examine them.
All right. So that'll take me 10 minutes, but I do so.
Yeah, because it'll take me 10 minutes
Yeah.
just to read through the notes and check.
I say that I point to the ink and I say the ink is quite similar to the ink used in spell transcribing.
Okay.
And I think this quote, and I'm just going to roll for a second. And I think that the parchment, the paper in these books, these notebooks, is similar to the parchment used also for transcribing spells or scrolls.
All right. I've made a few scrolls and you made tons.
Yes.
And you've done tons of transcribing.
Yes.
Is there any ink here that's usable and pages that are usable for what we do?
All right. Well, there's several pages throughout the entire book which have been filled.
Yes.
All right. 1 second. However, actually, hang on. I'm going to roll this a few times for this.
Okay.
All right. Most of the books have been filled with notes.
Yep.
So between the 4 of them, we can probably, if you want to actually like remove the pages from the book and the journals themselves, you
Yep.
could probably get well basically we'll call it, yeah, about 5 pages worth that are still blank and usable, you think? And there are 4 inkwells which are basically been filled with the ink, so we can.
All right. I think these research notes might be useful to someone anyway.
Yes.
So I will take the books, not damage them at all. I'm gonna take the books whole
Okay.
and the inkwells, and I'll stopper them and just take the lot.
All right. So for all intents and purposes, the inkwells add up to basically each of them is an additional dose of the ink necessary for transcribing spells or making scrolls.
Okay.
So write it down. And also write down the 4 notebooks from Necromancy Lab.
All right.
All right.
I guess what's left is looking at the cadaver, so I'll do that now.
Yes.
All right, I'm just writing some stuff down.
It's fine.
All right. Medicine check on our buddies here.
Yes.
It's not very good. 14.
All right. So we go to the bodies. They are definitely in a state of decomposition, but like a large number of undead we've encountered, while there is definite states of decomposition and rot present in a lot of them, such as zombies that we've encountered so far, there is a certain point in which it seems to just, and effectively, the magic which animates them causes it to halt, I suppose, or at least prevent from decomposing to the point that the body is no longer of any use to the necromancer. Given the alchemical setup here and the notes we've gathered so far, with that roll, we're able to determine that these bodies have indeed been effectively prepared in such a way with the various reagents to make effectively permanent undead creatures. So basically permanent zombies for all intents and purposes that would later be animated.
So all the prep was done. They
Yes.
just didn't cast the final spell.
But the spell was not cast, and therefore these bodies do not seem animate. Which we can take a moment to consider our fortunes that we aren't now fighting 5 more undead creatures.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
Also, just looking through all the notes and the various processes here, you're fairly certain these would have been more than just standard zombies.
All right, that's a concern, leaving these things behind us.
Yes. We can confirm from all the things that we have done that these corpses are not going to animate without some magical interventions of some sort.
Well, it's not like this place has been devoid of magic.
No.
Is there a way of locking that lift? Well, actually, never mind that
You
question.
could, but it is our
Uh,
only way out here.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, we have to get out of here at
Well,
some point.
technically, it is not our only way out here because I do have a dimension door prepared.
Yeah, and I have a scroll of it, so
Yeah.
that is a thing. All right, it is a chance, but short of starting some bonfire and burning these things, which make our air really unpleasant.
Yes, it is. There is no real ventilation down here, you denote.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. So
Yeah.
I guess we are just going to have to suck it up and move on.
All right. So rather than creating a funeral pyre for whoever these people were,
Yeah.
we decided to continue on.
Yep. And I
All right.
assume that once we cross over to here, there's a set of stairs heading
There is
down.
a set of stairs heading down. Yes.
Shall we?
Yes, if you wish to head down, we can.
I think we've done everything we can here. Oh, looks like someone's been working on some magic that we kind of like.
All right. So we're coming down this set of staircase again. It's in the same position.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we come down. We see more. So far, this seems to be in a similar layout as the above floor.
Are we coming down here? Are we coming down here?
There, where the staircase is pointing upwards.
Okay.
All right. There are more of those ever burning torches down here.
Yeah. If they're worth anything, you need to make a living off just them alone. All right. I am going to carefully walk through this way and look into this room. What do I see?
All right. So as we enter this room, we see a series of work tables, upon 4 of which are a familiar looking device, which is reminiscent of a Tesla coil. And there's also a familiar looking magic circle in the center of the room. And we see
Yep.
workbenches set up with, again, looks like some magical setup and some crystal spheres, which look familiar. These look quite similar to the flux generator we encountered at the top of the mansion in the attic.
So, this is where they're doing their research into making that horrible machine.
Yes, these do seem to not be completed, though.
God, they need more than one, I suppose. All right. I would like to investigate the work tables, and I see a workbook there, so that's kind of important.
Yeah.
So we'll start with that.
All right, so you're going to head over to one of the work tables.
Yep.
All right, as you enter the room,
Yep.
I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Uh, yeah, for me too as well, because I'll be close enough.
Huh. That'll be a 2 plus not enough, probably.
Do you want to use any luck?
I don't know what's happening.
All right. Well, as you step into the room and near one of the work tables, a something you did not see under your foot flashes as a circular glyph glows brightly, and you feel a buildup of static electricity in it as a glyph of warding is about to detonate by your feet.
Yeah, I'm using some luck. Burn a point of luck. Oh, gee. I went up by 3. Um, so I don't think the saving throw for this is
So
10.
what's your new what's the new saving throw?
I rolled a 5.
Plus 7, I believe. So 12.
So yeah, I don't think this DC is that low, but I want to burn all my luck. I
You don't want
guess
to burn your luck? Okay. I rolled an 18, so I succeeded.
good for you. Hey, wait a minute. That's not right. I should succeed and you should fail. That's the way the our campaign has been going. I may regret not using my luck.
All
I
right. I'm just
have an
gonna go.
awful lot of die.
Yes. All right. All
And you're still looking for more die.
right.
That's a bad sign.
Ooh boy. All right. So the glyph flares and static light electricity builds up as it detonates into a sphere of crackling electricity that hits both of us. I'm able to dodge some of it. So as the glyph discharges, you take 28 points of lightning damage,
Ow.
and I take 14.
Well, oops. Well,
Yeah, so as we both brace ourselves against the wall, the lightning did also technically strike the machines, but they don't seem to be affected by it.
all right.
The
Oh, they are
cages.
Tesla coils.
Yeah.
All right. Going forward, I think I better be a little bit more cautious.
Yes.
Can you ritual cast detect magic, please?
I will do so for the second time.
While I catch my breath and
Yeah.
oh, oh add out some scorch marks.
Yes.
That was a lot of damage. Actually, that was a lot of damage.
You
I
gonna
am
drink a
going
potion?
to nope. See, now we're not in combat. I am going to take the salve, which seems kind of appropriate because it is electrical damage,
Ah,
and I am going to use that.
right. So I believe it's 2d8 plus 2 you heal,
Yes, and also deal gets rid of any sort of poison and other stuff too.
which you are not currently poisoned.
Ooh, this is the one I made, I guess. Was it plus 2? Is that? Sorry, hold on a sec. Um, where's the salve?
Yes, 2d8 plus 2.
Yeah, all right. I'll just go by that because my notes are all over the place.
Yeah. I looked it up. It's fine. All right. And mark
Uh,
down you used one of its doses.
yep, I did that. I
So how much do you heal by?
regained 15 points.
All right. You're feeling much better.
Yeah, basically by using that, I've taken just a slightly less damage than you.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot.
All right. So I finished my ritual.
Yes. I finish applying my salve.
Yes, which takes far less time.
Yeah, and I just found it.
All right. So 30 feet into the room will get me to basically just in front of the second circular tables there, second set.
Over here.
Yeah.
And 30 feet makes it to here.
Yeah. Just past there, I can't see past.
Okay, just do a quick
All right.
perusal here
I'm
and
gonna
make sure.
stand. I'm gonna come up and stand where you are because we know that glyph is detonated.
Yeah.
All right. So within that,
Hmm?
I can point out three more glyphs.
Okay. Unfortunately, we don't know the trigger for them.
No. Well, clearly the one you trigger was meant to be proximity.
Yes.
All right. There's one in the that is in the center of that dormant magic circle. We've seen that trick done before. It's just
Yes.
yeah, it's basically dead center.
Yep.
And there are two more set up right in front of the rectangular work tables.
One here and one here.
Yes, they're equidistant from the central glyph.
Is there one here?
I can't see that far. I just see up to the edge of the tables.
Well, let's move in before we get too close to this, just back from it a bit. Can you see that way this spot now?
There's nothing there.
All right. Let's back up to here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am going to cast Unseen Servant from my ring.
Yep.
And I'll give it a torch to hold and tell it to go and step on this glyph.
All right, so you're going to have it go to that one.
Yep.
All right. Nothing appears to happen.
This glyph.
Nothing again.
This glyph.
And for a third time, the glyph does not trigger.
All right. Go back to this glyph. Tell it to toss the torch, doesn't matter. I want it to pick up this book and bring it to me.
All right. The unservant picks up the book and brings it to you. All
And then go do the same for the other one.
right. So this entire process probably takes about a minute, and then your unseen servant comes back and hands you both books.
All right. What's these books about?
All right. Investigation check.
All right. That will be a 24.
All right. This floor appears to be dedicated to research into the field of meta magic, and this is where the arcane field flux generators are constructed, as you can obviously see. And it basically just goes into their general research into manipulation of magical energy, and it also goes into some details about how other magic users, such as wizards, could begin to, in theory, manipulate the fields of meta magic in order to alter how their spells operate in the same manner which sorcerers can. It also discusses the possibility of constructing a magic item to allow other magic users to spellcasters to also benefit from it.
That sounds very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take these books
Yes.
and put them in a bag of holding.
There is no mention of the glyphs,
Yeah.
which
All right.
is probably makes sense because it's a security risk.
I will firebolt the center one.
All right, make an attack roll.
22 to hit.
All right, the firebolt strikes the glyph in the center. It bursts against the ground and it smolders there with some of the mildew that's on the stones here. No reaction.
Hmm. All right. I'm going to have my unseen servant go and pick up this glass orb.
Okay, pick up the crystal.
Yep.
All right, picks it up.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
All right.
I
I know we can get across this room. I would like to have a look at those
yeah,
desks a little bit
I said,
more.
now that we know where the glyphs are, it is possible to dispel them.
That's three dispel magics.
It is possible that some of these glyphs have been set up to trigger in tandem.
Oh, wouldn't that be pleasant?
Hmm. So it is possible that if we dispel one of them, we could disrupt the the chain of events, basically.
I
And you can
really don't
thank a
want to.
23 Arcana check for that advice.
I don't really want to blow off a third level spell slot on this. All right, I'm gonna try being just a little bit cheeky, I suppose. I'm going to hug this wall,
Right?
circle around to the back end of this table so I can examine it without being near that glyph.
All right. I'm going to ask for a dexterity check. This isn't going to be too high, but you are moving through a relatively cramped space.
Natural 20. What a waste.
Very much so.
Yeah. Okay.
So you traverse to the opposite side of the table.
Yeah. And I want to examine the other paraphernalia that's here that's not
All right.
because I have the book.
As you move towards the desk, you see you feel a buildup of energy from in direction in front of you.
All right. I am going to cast Featherfall, and I'm going to change my stone to electrical resistance, lightning.
All right. So you cast Featherfall again
Yep.
and shift your stone's resistance to lightning.
Yep.
The spell ends because you're standing on the ground.
Yep.
As you do so, a sphere of light moves up from where the glyph was, and it separates into. Man, let's see here. Yeah, there it is. Numerous magical darts that start flying towards you.
Oh, well, that sounds like mirror. Oh, I already used my reaction. Wasted my own by my own petard.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess you should have waited to finish for the description to finish.
yeah.
All right. Nope, I dropped that one. I'll have to get it.
Yeah. Not exactly burning all my brain cells here today, I tell you.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of ones.
That's what I like to hear.
All right, that was a low roll, but you see seven darts arc out towards you
God.
and slam into you, causing a grand total of 19 points of force damage.
Wow.
All right,
Can I investigate the table now?
you're in a lot of pain, but yes, you may
Yeah.
investigate the table.
God. 22.
All right, you're slightly more familiar with the chemical setup down here than on the floor above, because this is more into the field of transmutation and the manipulation of energy, which you work with more frequently.
Yes.
All right. So basically, the setup here goes, as far as you can tell from the notes, goes specifically into the construction of these devices. It's essentially an assembly area.
any of these reagents and or equipment useful to me?
They could be. They are effectively reagents and components used specifically for the manipulation of raw magical energy. So, depending on what you want to use them for, they could be used in all sorts of things, specifically in the field of magic item creation, you suspect.
All right, I will take the equipment. Stick
All
it
right.
in the back of holding. I'm just gonna call it the transmutation lab equipment.
Yeah,
That suit.
that should be fine. Yeah. You should probably write down meta magic laboratory equipment because that way I'll know what it is.
All right. So to keep myself from being fried again, I'm gonna have my unseen servant go over to the opposite one and pick
Yes.
up the lab equipment and bring it to me, and I'll put
Okay.
it in the back of holding.
So you
So
can take everything from there that'll fit in the bag of holding, which is not everything, admittedly, but still.
I have one empty bag. Should be
Yes.
able to hold
It's just
all
that some
this.
of it's rather cumbersome.
Oh, all right. I'll take what I can.
All right.
All right.
It says,
I
so
take,
there's one fewer glyph now.
yeah, you want to go trip the other two for me?
I think I'd rather just dispel them. Yes. From
Oh,
where I'm standing at the moment, because I haven't really moved from my spot, I can still only see the two remaining glyphs.
yeah, your magic. Sorry, detect magic should be running its course too.
Yes.
I really, even though I've taken 32 points of damage, think that the best bet is just to navigate this way and then head this way.
All right. So you want me to follow past you. All right.
Yeah. Just because, you know, third level spell slots are third level spell slots.
All right. All right. I'm able to navigate to over to where you are behind the work table.
All right, let's continue.
Yeah. Oh, what a waste of natural 20.
Yeah, I did one of those too, but mine's only a 16 this time.
All right. We make it to the right there,
Yep.
and a fifth glyph triggers as we because my detect magic would have run its course by this point.
I tell you, I'm cursed today.
I mean, we could have done this a lot more carefully.
Yeah. What do I feel building up this time?
All right. So yeah, you would be the one leading the way. So you're the one who's going to have to make the saving throw. All
Four.
right. There's no buildup or discharge of energy this time like the previous two, but there is a flash of energy, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Alrighty. It's 16 plus all my stuff, which is I think 6.
All right.
20,
Yes, plus
20
6.
something. 21.
All right. So you suddenly see this horrifying image appearing before you, but your years of experience with mental discipline and spells allow you to pierce through this illusion and ignore it, and it fades quickly.
Yeah. I've done those myself.
So you resist the phantasmal killer stored in the glyph.
Oh, well, that would have been nasty.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of psychic damage.
Yeah. Well,
So, how are you? How are you doing at this point?
I am down 32 hit points.
You've taken a beating.
Yeah. Well, I think you've said many times there are two ways of going through these things. You can either preserve your hit points or preserve your spells. Let it
I have
slots.
said that.
Yeah.
And we seem to have chosen the opposite today.
Yep. Well, I thought I could do this, and if I had actually, you know, paid attention a bit more, I think I probably would have.
Mhm.
That's okay. Can't win them all.
No,
All right, I think we've damaged me enough in this roof
I
floor.
think we've done enough damage for one floor, you said.
No damage to me. So I
Yes.
think it's time to go down and see if we can damage me some more down here.
All right, so we move on to the third floor.
Okay, this is different.
Yes. So there is. We notice that the first thing we notice is there's far less light on this floor.
Yeah, and it looks like there's no floor on this floor.
So we're to be fair again, we're up at the staircase, just at the base of the staircase.
Yeah, so we're here,
Yes.
and I keep my eyes peeled for more glyphs.
You can
Uh,
make an investigation check with my assistance then.
15.
All right, you do spot another glyph.
All right, where's this glyph?
It is almost exactly where your mouse cursor is. It's basically right in that area, right before
Right
you
there.
enter the chamber. Yes.
Any idea what this one does? Does it look similar to any of the others?
The glyphs all look identical. It is possible to I can make an Arcana check from a distance.
Yeah, we're back here.
Yeah, to possibly tell. Let's see. Nope, that's a total of 10.
How about 21?
All right, that would be enough. You don't know what spell is stored in it, but it's set to. But you can tell by the runes in the glyph it's set up to store a spell, not explosive runes.
What would be the trigger? I'm gonna just try firebolting it just to see if that does it. From as far back as I can get. Like even if I have to go up the stairs a
All
ways.
right, so you go back up the stairs a little bit,
Yep.
and you snipe a firebolt from across the room.
Yeah, and I roll a natural one, so I will
You hit the floor.
I'll ignore that one and try another one. All right, 17.
You hit the glyph.
Yep.
There's no response. I said, I can dispel it if you want.
Yeah, I have actually wait a minute. Do I have dispel magic even prepared?
I do.
I do not have it prepared.
I do. Do you want me to cast dispel magic? It's either that or we keep using your method of triggering these things.
I could pick you up and throw you into it and see what happens.
No, I don't think you actually could.
Probably not.
Would you like me to try dispel magic?
Hold on a second. Let's see if there's anything else. My unseen servant's still kicking around.
Your unseen servant hadn't triggered any of the other glyphs, but yeah, so it still will be around because it hasn't been an hour yet, and it's not concentration.
I will have a go over and tap dance on the glyph.
Nope, no response.
Hmm.
It does not seem to qualify for whatever the trigger for the glyph is.
I can always. Your cat's kind of bored. No?
I could just cast dispel magic. We could not risk any member of our team in doing so.
Yeah, it was a third level spell slot.
We're fresh.
All right, go for it.
All right. I speak an incantation and move my hands in the air, and that blue rippling pattern I create for of disruptive magic I use for counterspell and dispel magic washes over the glyph. And let's see how this goes. I do have to roll for this.
Yeah. Do you have a portent?
I am looking for that now. I do. Yeah, this seems important. I will use it. So that's a 13 plus my intelligence modifier of 18. All right. So when the fluid rippling pattern clears, the glyph is dispelled.
All right. let's move forward, keeping our eyes open because this place is dangerous.
So I assume we're going to move up to where that glyph was.
Yeah. So we're gonna move up to here, which gives us a room view.
Yeah, so it gives us a view of this chamber.
So is there literally no floor there, or is that just like a black floor, or this a balcony,
All
or
right,
what?
I'm going to explain what you see here because there's a lot of detail.
All right, go for it.
All right, so there's only a handful of those ever burning torches in this uh, chamber, and there are indeed 8 balconies set up.
Yeah, I see that.
So there is no floor apart from those.
Okay.
There is a faint view from the various ambient lighting room of a stone floor on the floor below us.
Okay.
And in the center of the chamber float, they're not circles, these are the best I can use to represent them with, are 3 spheres, which are perfect spheres, which are orbiting one another in the center. And each of them contains something. So there's a green sphere, which contains a skull
Yeah.
that has a diamond and a jet in each of its eye sockets.
Okay.
Okay. There's a blue sphere, which contains a broken staff,
Okay.
and a red sphere, which contains, floating in the center of it, a severed 3-clawed hand, which appears to be covered in a bone like carapace.
Does it actually have teeth?
No, that's just the best I could find for that.
All right.
No, it's much more just like about about this much of a hand up, and it's just got 3 fingers. And it's clawed. They're much longer than the average than a human. This is clearly not belonging to any creature that would be considered a humanoid.
Reptilian?
Vaguely reptilian, yes.
All right. Well, how far from here to the first circle, the first sphere?
So they're orbiting in the center of the chamber. From the edge of the balcony to them,
Yeah.
it's probably about somewhere between 15 and 20 feet.
Hmm. Well, this is obviously not going to just let us through, because what would be the point of that? So, right now we're currently standing here, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to walk a bit forward.
All right. You step a few paces forward.
Do they care?
Nothing seems to happen.
I'm going to walk over to this side.
Okay.
If nothing still happens, I'm going to have a look down.
All right. You can just vaguely make out a room below this one.
I am going to take out a silver piece,
All
cast light on it, drop it down to the floor below.
right. It lands.
Yep.
There is a room below, which is reminiscent of the 2 above us.
Yep.
And there's work tables set up, and you think you can make out some more bodies.
Joy.
Can I get a perception check from you as well?
Oh, that's not very good. 8.
All right. You think you can hear movement below, like the stomping of armored feet.
I'm going to have a look at my coin as maybe something's coming over to investigate it.
All right. So a few moments pass as a armored figure steps up to examine the glowing silver piece.
Okay.
You can make another perception check to make out some more details.
Ugh, we're going the wrong way here, people. Oh, I want to double check. I know I don't have perception, but maybe it's just a perception check, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 4.
It's an armored figure. Looks like a knight. Has a sword and a shield.
Um, I call down to it. Hello.
All right. Let's see how it goes. Uh, the armored figure looks up, and you can see beneath its visorless helm that this is not a humanoid nor any other creature of flesh and blood. There is a bright red glow from inside its visor, and you see that same red glow in some of its other joints. This is another type of construct, similar to the animated armors we encountered above.
And what is this a response to my salutation? Does it look aggressive towards me or
It
just
doesn't
standing?
have a face.
Well, I mean, is it waving a sword in my direction trying to hit me? I mean,
It's
these things
looking up,
aren't that bright.
and uh, it seems to look back to where it is, and it starts to move off out of your field of view.
I tell you, I got animated armor down here. Want me to firebolt it?
If you want to,
22 to hit.
yeah, that hits.
14 points of damage.
All right. Well, we're gonna be rolling initiative now.
All right. I have an 18.
Yeah, you rolled 14 points of damage.
Yep.
All right. Well, you're going first.
Cool. What'd you get?
I have a 4.
Okay. What about my metal friend?
An 8.
All right.
All right, so you've taken a lot of damage.
I have taken 32 points of damage so far.
All right, and I have taken 14.
Yep.
All right then. So you firebolted it. It took damage.
Yep.
It is currently marching towards the opposite side of the room below. Bear in mind, you still only have a very limited view of light down there.
Is it heading this way?
Yes.
I firebolt it again.
Make an attack roll.
Ah. 10.
It misses. It just impacts the floor.
I step back from the railing, come back
Yes.
to where you are, and I say, well, I annoyed it, and I think it's coming up the opposite stairs.
All right. Is that your turn?
I'm gonna cast that and that. Could take a potion at this point, maybe.
If you want.
No, I'm gonna stick it out for the moment.
All right.
I can't cast any more spells. I'm just gonna move back. I don't know, like right over here, just so I can keep an eye on this section, but not be exposed too much.
All right then. We come to its turn.
Yep.
Oh. All right. After the second firebolt misses, it turns and it rises off the floor.
Oh, it's flies. That's gonna come stomping up the stairs.
Yeah, I need to read a bit more into the stat blocks of these monsters. Apparently,
Apparently.
yeah, because there's a fly speed, and it rises up and starts moving towards us.
That means it has to pass through these spheres.
It's going to be moving underneath them. It looks like.
Okay, but coming quite close to them, I would assume.
Yes, it does seem to be avoiding them as if it knows they're there.
Okay.
Alright, it's going to use its movement and its action to dash. And it'll just get to... Basically, it's just at the edge of the balcony.
Yep.
And its helmed head is just peeking over.
All right. I say to you, that looks like a perfect opportunity for a frost breath because it's having a like falling damage on top of it.
Alright. Yeah, it does look like a good opportunity for that.
This is my campaign to have you blow all your third level spell slots, I guess.
Apparently. But it is the best idea we have.
In my defense, the first one was your idea.
Yes. Alright. Constitution saving throw. That's a total of 19.
Oh. Didn't you have a portent you could have used?
I could have, yes, but it was the only one I had left.
Alright.
There might... I used the 13, or I used the other one already, which was 13. There might be something worse down here besides this thing.
I suspect there is, yes. That's why I've been trying to reserve, or preserve, I should say, my spell slots.
That was a terrible frost breath anyway. So it was a total of 15 points of cold damage, which halves to 7.
Yeah, it was the falling damage that would be kind of interesting.
Alright. It takes the damage, though.
Yeah.
But it shrugs off most of it. Alright.
Top of the round.
And I'm going to move back towards you. Your turn.
Well, this thing seems to try and avoid those spheres. And currently, its body is roughly a line from me, him, spheres.
Yes, it is slightly below the balcony at the moment. Its head's just cresting over. So it's not quite parallel with the center of the sphere, but it's close.
I am going to use a second level spell slot. And I'm going to cast Gust of Wind.
In case you're curious, it's the red sphere that's currently cresting around.
Sure.
With the hand in it.
Alright. I want him to run into it, so hopefully...
So you're casting Gust of Wind, which is concentration.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, it's a strength saving throw on its part.
Yeah, seems kind of weird because it's, in the air, but anyway.
It can resist.
Yep.
Strength saving throw. Natural 20.
Oh, good God. Alright. Luck does not affect this, right?
Luck does not affect other saving throws. You can have someone else reroll an attack roll, but no.
Alright, just wanted to triple check because I knew it didn't, but...
Yep. You can keep the Gust of Wind up, though. It has to struggle against it to come in to move.
True.
You get the distinct feeling that this creature is probably relatively strong.
Yeah. Getting that feeling that we were that is bad luck. So, I can move away, but I don't want to leave you.
No. Also, if you move too much, the Gust of Wind is going to be completely useless.
Yeah, I might end up blowing you into the room or something stupid
Yes.
like that.
All right.
I'm done.
We come to the armor's turn.
Alright, another strength saving throw.
Oh, 7.
Alright. He moves up a bit because he's going to come in the room and gets blasted into the spheres.
Yeah, so it's attempting to move in through the wind, and it fails. It gets slammed into the red sphere, which is currently orbiting.
Yep.
Alright, it slams into the sphere and is basically being pinned against it by the wind at the moment. The sphere does not seem to be permeable, though.
It doesn't seem to be damaging him or anything.
It doesn't seem to be taking any damage, but it's pinned at the moment. Bear in mind, the spheres are orbiting, so at some point it's going to be it's going to be blown backwards, possibly.
But that's okay. He's not coming to beat on me. I'm happy.
Alright, so it's failed the saving throw, so it can't really move, can it?
Nope. It does move it. Does it have any ranged things?
Oh. There's one other thing here.
What's that?
It has advantage on the saving throw against your spell. I think it still fails.
Okay.
14?
It fails.
Yes. Alright, so we didn't have to redo all that. So it's still pinned there.
Good.
Alright, my turn. Alright. Well, that did not work. Referencing my frost breath.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of hoping that red sphere with a disgusting hand that was going to do something to him, but...
Oh. I'm going to have us both roll perception checks, by the way. Well, I definitely don't see the notices.
19.
Alright. I'm focusing on the armor. You, however, do notice that the sphere that's pressed against the hand in it its fingers seem to move, like with clawed fingers move as if reacting to suddenly the presence of something against the sphere. That's it.
My hopes are rekindled. It's going to do something to this stupid thing. So, he's my guinea pig. I want to see if he's going to get hurt by this thing. Alright.
Alright, so it's my turn. Well, this usually works, I say as I cast Magic Missile at it.
Yeah, rare that fails.
Alright, so the 3 darts fly and strike the creatures pinned against the Crimson Sphere.
Yep.
And it takes no damage.
Okay.
Throughout the entire campaign, I've been referencing a single creature in the monster manual that is immune to force damage. This is it.
Okay, I see the effect.
You see the darts impact the armor, and nothing happens.
I see lack of effect.
Yes.
Arcana check.
Yes. I'm going to roll one too.
20 even.
All right, you rolled high enough. This is a helmed horror.
What do I know about helmed horrors besides the fact apparently they're immune to force damage?
They are far more complicated animated suits of armor that more experienced wizards can create, and they have numerous differences that make them far superior. First of all, they can fly.
Yeah, I noticed that one already.
Yeah. They are heavily armored because they are effectively animated plate mail and they're given a shield, so their armor class is exceptionally high.
Yeah.
They are immune to force magic, as the magic energy that animates them protects them from it. And they have no flesh to rot, so they're immune to necrotic damage. They're constructs, so they're immune to poison. They're immune to a whole bunch of conditions as well.
Yep.
They have magic resistance, and they are granted by their creator limited spell immunity in that it is immune to 3 spells, which of the creator's choice upon creation.
And we have no idea what they are.
We have no idea what those spells are, but they are immune to them. You would know that typical immunities chosen by wizards are Fireball, Heat Metal, and Lightning Bolt.
Well, I wasn't planning on fireballing him anyway.
But you have no idea if that's accurate or not.
No, I do not. So he is going to be hard for us to hit.
Yes.
And our guaranteed hit spell
does not work on them. Yes. I said, oh, that's not good. And I'm going to move slightly behind you so the gust of wind is in front of both of us.
Yes.
We come to your turn. All right. Something very interesting is going to happen at the start of its turn, so...
All right. I am not going to waste a big spell on this at the moment, but I expect these things are fairly tough. I am going to test out the spell. It took actually no, it took damage from cold, right?
It took damage from cold and took damage from fire. They're not immune to those. They are immune, but they can be immune to very specific spells.
Well, I'm going to test out whether it's immune to chromatic or first level cold.
Okay, you're going to set it to cold. Your attack.
Damage is damage, this thing. for 11 points of damage.
Did you roll to hit?
No, good God, yeah. I remember. 16?
That's a miss.
Yeah.
Do you want to re-roll that with luck?
No. I'm going to burn through my luck real fast if I do that.
It flies past it and hits the red sphere and blasts against it. Frost forms against it briefly as you set the cold.
Yeah.
But neither it nor the sphere seem to take damage.
Okay. I'm concentrating on a spell.
Yep.
So...
Alright, so the sphere, the red sphere that you just struck, is orbiting away at this point. So it's going to make a strength saving throw with advantage. Well, the higher of those was an 11, so that's a fail. So it gets blown back, which means it is now in the center of all three of the spheres.
Cool.
You watch as it's almost like waves of energy seem to be pressing in against it. However, it's immune to force damage. So, whatever gravitational field of pressure which is keeping these spheres orbiting one another and is attempting to crush this construct has absolutely no effect. And it rolled its saving throw, so it's fine.
Okay.
Oh. It would have had advantage. It doesn't matter, that's higher. Both succeed.
Alright. Well, how are we going to hurt this thing?
My turn.
Yeah.
Well, I said I'm going to try hitting it with Frostbite because it's just within range. Okay. I don't think that's a success even with magic resistance. Nope, that's an 11. For 5 points of cold damage. It takes the damage. It's
scratching this thing though.
Yes. Alright, we come to you.
I suspect it has a lot of hit points.
Based on what you were able to discern from your Arcana check and looking at it, it's taken a fair bit of damage. You can see dents starting to appear in its armor.
Do I know if it is immune or resistant to just regular damage types? Like bludgeoning, piercing, that sort of stuff?
They tend to be resistant to non-magical weapons that are not made of adamantine.
So, yeah. Well, that's not going to be a thing yet anyway.
I mean, so far I can't save against your Gust of Wind spell.
Yeah, so far.
So far.
I was really hoping that the devices there would hurt it.
It did something to it, but didn't do damage.
Yeah, I know, which is not helping us. Well, I can't cast another concentration spell.
Based on the speed at which they're orbiting, by the time we get to its next turn, by the way, the green sphere will be blocking your Gust of Wind from it. You don't know if the wind will travel past that or not.
Plain old everyday firebolt.
Alright. Also will have cover.
Natural one.
Natural one! You hit the green sphere this time.
Yeah. All of a sudden I've gone back to level 1 here.
Yeah. Alright, its turn. It's going to save. Oh, that was outside my box. Back. Wow, rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20. It saves from the Gust of Wind.
Alright, so it can now move forward.
It is now going to try and save from the gravity effect. Which it does so.
Alright.
So its movement is halved, I believe, while in the Gust of Wind.
Yeah, so if it dashes, depending on what its fly speed is,
yeah,
it'll move its regular move right towards
Yeah, so it can move 30 feet, which means it can just land on the balcony.
No, I got. Oh, that's right. I got pushed back twice.
Yeah. So basically, it lands on the balcony. That's the end of its movement and its action. And it's still in the gust of wind,
Yep.
but it's there.
I love this spell.
It's turning out to be great.
It's done so well for me. Uh,
All right, my turn.
Yep.
I'm gonna try hitting him with frostbite again. This is a double-edged sword at this point. It's magic resistance. Fortunately, he keeps rolling low on that. 8 points of cold damage and disadvantage on his next attack roll because that might come up.
it might actually come up this time, yeah.
Yeah.
Top of the round. Still concentrating.
Yep.
I firebolt it.
You have about 6 more rounds on Gust of Wind, by the way.
For a 25 to hit.
It's heavily armored. You can tell.
For 6 points of fire damage.
Yep. It's the energy is starting to flicker inside it, and we can see serious damage to the armor. It's taking a beating. We don't have much more lore to go.
Well, it's taking 40 points of damage.
Yep. It's his turn. It's gonna try and save from your spell again. $17. Alright. It moves.
Well, I can do that.
What?
I can't. I mean, I can't affect its saving throw, so yeah.
Yeah. It moves up 15 feet, which puts it in melee with you.
Well, we're back here. This is 15 feet from here to here?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Probably not happy with me.
No, it is going to make. It raises its long sword, and it's going to make 2 attacks at you, the first with disadvantage.
Okay.
Well, a 9 misses.
Yep.
Second attack without disadvantage.
All right.
And that's a 13.
Hey! Whew.
All right. My turn.
Your turn.
I'm just going to keep trying to pepper this thing with cantrips.
I know. I wanted to too, but now I'm doing disadvantage to hit this stupid thing.
Okay, that's a natural 1, but it gets advantage. Oh, this is close. 16. It fails.
There you go.
Oh. It takes 3 points of cold damage.
It's damaged.
And again, it renews the disadvantage effect, which is nice.
Yes. I really don't want to get too much more damage.
Alright, we come to you.
Still maintaining the gust of wind.
Yep, round 5.
There really is nothing I can do.
So at this point, except everything you can do is basically an attack roll. Yeah.
Well, no, I could cast a wall of fire in front of it. But, yeah.
Yes, well... Anyway.
I'm not doing that.
No, because we will be in the damage area, basically, first, because it's in front of us.
Well, I start at my face and have heat go that way.
Yes.
But 4th level spell slot at this point? I don't think so.
Alright, so what are you doing?
Firebolt.
With disadvantage.
Not even close.
Alright. Goes wide. Alright, saving throw, and its turn.
Yep.
Natural 20. Can't roll higher than that.
No.
At least it wasn't an attack.
Yes.
First attack with disadvantage. 18 to hit.
Shield.
You cast shield.
Yep.
Second attack without disadvantage. 11.
Alright. We can't hit each other.
No.
So.
I'm gonna keep frostbiting it. This is gonna take a while, but
Yeah.
12 plus 15.
All right.
Ooh, 8 points of cold damage this time.
Woohoo! All right, 51 points of damage.
Yeah, the ice is starting to really hamper it, and you can see that parts of it are starting to not function as well, and that glow is dimmed considerably. It's on its last limbs, you think? Those legs.
Oh. I'm going to burn a point of luck because I want to get rid of this thing.
All right, second point of luck used for the day.
Never mind. Still not good. Without the disadvantage, I'd be hitting this thing. With disadvantage, it's just bad.
Yeah. All right, it's gonna try and save from gust of wind. 21. All right, attacking you with disadvantage. Well, it saved you from getting hit with a natural 20.
That's good.
Yeah, because a 9 doesn't hit. And without disadvantage, 17.
I only have 1 point of luck left. I'm going to keep it. I could cast my last first level spell slot. And I will.
Alright, you cast shield and block the sword.
Ugh, this is just going through so much.
Yes. Alright, frostbite again. Well, it wasn't a natural 1, but that's the best it can do. 9 points of cold damage. So I blast it again with another frost cloud over your shoulder, and as it freezes in place as it does, and it finally stops struggling as the gust of wind goes flying into the blue sphere, slams into it, and falls to the floor below.
All right. That was rough.
But we didn't take any damage.
I burned through 4, 5 spell slots.
Yep.
All right. I think it's time to break for lunch.
All right. You want to take a short rest here?
Yeah. Is that all right with you?
Yes, we can.
All right.
All right. So you can use arcane recovery and roll.
Oh God, yes.
If you want. I'm only down 14 hit points. I'll roll 2 hit dice and just to start with.
Plus.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
I used all my hit die and managed to get all my hit points back.
I used 2 and got all my hit points back.
I wasn't taking any chances.
All right, so arcane recovery.
And I will regain all my first level spell slots.
I can only regain 5 levels worth, which is annoying. So one's going to go to waste. I regain a third and a first. Okay, so I'm only down 1. All right, so we have a bite to eat.
I have a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Reassess my choices in life. Take a break.
We take a short break.
Yep. Because there seems to be an effect from these things.
Yes, it does. It did seem to be struggling against some sort of gravitational field between the 3 spheres. However, while we had our short rest, they just continued to orbit, and nothing seemed to happen.
Yes. Standing here after our short rest, and I look this way to these torches.
Yes.
Is there anything back there?
Make a perception check.
Place out of the way. Oh, there's a natural 20s. God.
Each of these balconies seems to just be a small, apart from the two that are adjacent across from each other from the room, just in these small areas. There seems to be some small spaces. There's some tables and chairs set up that I didn't put in that are just. I don't know if this is like a rest area or a workplace. Just these areas seem to have small tables and chairs set up in them.
Okay. How far is it from here to here?
Uh, it is about, we'll call it 6 feet.
All right. Could easily jump that.
Yes. Well, you can try to jump that.
Or we can use the brooms and just coast across.
Yes. Or we could jump and cast Featherfall and go down.
I want to see what's in one of those alcoves first.
All right, so you're going to take out your broom of flying.
Yep.
All right, you
And,
speak the spell command and it begins to float.
and I'm just going to go across to here, keeping as close to this wall as possible.
All right, so you move about 10 feet.
Yep. Just keep on going.
All right. There doesn't seem to be anything on these desks, really, just like they were set up here.
Okay. So there's nothing in this thing.
No.
Keep on circling to here. And
All right.
then
You
because I knew there was a glyph of warding on that one, I'm going right up to the top of the ceiling.
all right. Are you going to try to in
And then before I cross where the glyph was on this side, I want to investigate.
all right.
22.
22. You do not spot a glyph.
All right. I seem to have made it. So can you go this way and have a look at this the table down here and then come around?
All right. I'm going to take out my broom of flying.
Yep.
I'm going to circle around.
Yep.
Right. As I come over to join you, it says it looked like it had at one point been set up as a possible area for people to sit and write at, presumably having something to do with what's on this floor. However, there was nothing really there at this point. The table was in pretty bad disrepair itself, and the chairs looked like they were about to fall apart.
All right. Well, I accidentally hit two of these spheres with various spells,
Yes.
and they didn't seem to be effective at all.
No, the hand twitched a little bit when the helmed horror was being slammed against it by the gust of wind, but that's about it.
And it never like tried to grab them or anything.
It just seemed to stir a little bit, as if it was. That's it. Oh, I mean, it's a severed hand and it's reacting. So,
Yeah, that's never a good thing. Well, short of casting Dispel Magic on them, which I don't think is a good idea.
and I would have to do that.
Yeah. I think it's time to head down.
All right,
One more floor.
one more floor. All right,
Oh, boy. More dead bodies. All right. I'm tired of being blown up by glyphs. So I am going to investigate as I walk forward from here to here to have a look in the room.
all right. So we do land was one of the questions I was going to ask.
Yeah, hold on a second. Fly over to the stairs,
Yeah.
deactivate the brooms, shove them back in the bag of holding, go down the stairs.
Okay, we didn't have to switch back to that. That's fine.
Well, I just want to,
All right.
oh, it's nice to be clear.
So,
Come to the stairs,
yep.
examine
Down here again.
Hmm?
Well, it's well lit here. Oh, and there's a smashed and frozen helmed horror in the center of the room.
Yeah, give it a kick later on. All right, first investigation.
It's made of plate metal. I mean, I don't know if you want to do that.
23, looking for glyphs mostly, but just also keeping an eye out for other stuff.
All right. You don't spot any glyphs in the immediate facility, in the vicinity.
All right, so standing here looking this way, Is this more bodies of the same, or are these bodies different?
These do look different. The first thing you notice is that these desks, these tables or slabs, unlike the previous ones above on the first floor, have straps on them, and these bodies are strapped down.
God, they're strapped down. Oh, great. They're doing experiments now on living things. Joy.
Yes, there is a smaller scale alchemical setup down here,
Yep.
and various other on those basically work tables there are also some various medical apparatuses and tools used in a variety of well, surgeries is probably the best word.
Oh, okay. We're getting into the dark stuff now. I thought necromancy was bad enough.
Yes, based on the state of these bodies, these look relatively similar, or in the process of being creatures similar to some of the mutations we saw on this island.
Ha. How or what kind of condition standing here where I am and the over by the door? How secure do they look like they're strapped
They're
down?
strapped down and they don't seem to be moving.
Yeah, but are the straps like look like they're gonna fall apart the second I sneeze on them, or they look like they can actually hold something down?
They look like they can hold something down.
All right. Examining the floor as I step forward, looking for glyphs. I want to go over and I
I
want to.
see that you now have a bit more sympathy for what we did to
I
those
do.
sorcerers that one time.
Yeah. I want to come over to here. I want to examine these two guys in this table. Want that as separate roles?
Oh, you can roll a well. You want to examine the bodies for a medicine check.
Yeah, and also the structural integrity of those straps.
We can make that one roll. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be a 23.
Right.
Where
23.
were these rolls a while ago?
All right. The straps look pretty secure, despite the fact they're worn out. They seem to have been made of some sort of reinforced and quite possibly enchanted leather for that exact purpose.
Right.
They are also quite tightly secured against these bodies.
Good.
And they are indeed bodies. I use that word, or corpses. These creatures, while you don't know if it's the mutation process that killed them or just the fact that they've been here for who knows how many centuries and have been strapped down all that time, they are not alive.
Undead mutants. Or sorry, dead mutants.
Yes. One thing you do also notice is that cauldron there is still bubbling. There's some sort of green viscous fluid bubbling up in it. It seems this might have been interrupted in the process, middle of something.
So they did something
And this cauldron, whatever it
500,
is, seems to have preserved the contents.
500 years ago, and this cauldron is still doing its thing.
Magic can last a long time.
All right. I think this is worth the time so this is going to take. I'm going to take out my pearl, and I want to identify this cauldron.
All right. There's no real name for this object.
Yeah, right.
However, as you identify it, you basically realize this is a slightly modified version of effectively the alchemical jug, which is a magic item that you could have picked up in Rosemary's shop. So that can produce a whole bunch of substances that are useful in alchemy. This seems to take the step a bit further in that it can basically be used to effectively amplify one's ability to produce alchemical substances. It makes the process a bit easier, and it can also preserve things inside it.
Hmm.
Which is why there appears to still be something in here. Basically its magic is currently keeping whatever this substance or concoction is uh, fresh.
Are you okay if I burn another 10 minutes here?
If you want, sure.
I want to identify the substance.
Okay, just so you're aware, due to the identify spell, you will have to touch the substance.
Usually, though, the identify process protects me from any kind of ill effects, though, right?
It protects you from things like curses and spell effects, yes. You don't know, you've never identified an alchemical substance before.
So I don't know if it'll work. So I
You
won't
don't
bother.
also don't know what that will do to you, possibly.
Yeah, well, seeing how there's mutations here, that might be a bad idea.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to do anything in this room?
Uh, Not really.
I wouldn't mind that cauldron. Do I
You
think it
could
could be
try
used?
emptying the contents.
Do I think the cauldron would be useful in anything that I do alchemically? Can I do an arcana check on that?
You can, yes.
Ugh, that's a bad roll. 12.
Uh, it seems to just be used in general alchemical and medicinal purposes. Effectively, if you were using this to create as a as the basically the receptacle you create potions or other alchemical substances, you suspect it would give you advantage, and you could also store whatever you were making inside it, and it would not deteriorate.
So if I'm rolling for a potion that I'm creating,
Yes.
I get advantage on the roll.
Yes. However, you also can do that with enhance ability. So,
Yeah. Do I think this thing is valuable?
you've never come across a magic item like this before?
So that would be a yes.
Yes.
I've already stuffed a fair amount of stuff in my spare bag of holding,
Yes, it is probably getting relatively close to being full.
but I think I can put one of these in there.
Yes, this will probably be the last thing, though.
All right. I'm going to empty out this thing
All right.
and take it.
All right. So you pour out the substance in the corner. It spreads out the floor, and you hear a hissing noise as it comes into contact with some of the mold and mildew on the floor as it seems to react. You think it might have been a good idea you didn't put your hand in this.
I don't want to breathe the fumes either, so
Yeah.
I'm going to store it and let's get out of here.
Yeah. I'll also just cast
Oh,
prestidigitation quickly on it just to clean up the last bit of it.
would you mind putting the second one of these in your bag of holding?
I'll go over and take a look at it. All right. This one appears to be empty.
Yep.
Doesn't need to be cleaned out. I'll hang on to it if you want.
Does it look the same as this one?
They look quite similar.
All right.
All right.
Rosemary might want them.
Yep. You can write down on your character sheet a alchemical cauldron.
Yep. All right. On we go.
All right. So we're heading down the next set of stairs.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. No stairs.
No. So we come down to the fifth, and based on the looks of what we see immediately, quite possibly the final floor.
Yes.
So we see
And
two things of note down here.
this thing.
The first is the large stone sarcophagus.
Yeah.
And opposite that, we see a relatively familiar looking device in a familiar looking magic circle. This is similar to the flux generators we saw upstairs, and it's still sparking, except there's one Major difference.
What's that?
The top of this device is not topped by one of those crystal spheres. It is topped by a small golden tetrahedron.
I've seen a few Arcanum so far. Do I
Yes,
think this is an Arcanum?
you can. We can both roll an Arcana check.
15?
Yes, we think this is an Arcanum, though based on the color, and we think it is not one we've encountered before.
All right. I know from my readings that
Yeah.
artillery Arcanum are really big.
Yes, and
So I
ruby
don't
red.
think it's that. And we've encountered, well,
The,
what's the
the
library
Archive Arcanum, which is blue.
archive? Yeah. And we've also seen the security ones
The
that
Sentry
are,
Arcanum, which is an emerald. The fourth variety is referred to as an Engine Arcanum, and it is a golden topaz.
and that's what this thing is.
It looks quite similar to that. We also heard rumor that there. We've also, based on the notes we've heard tell that there was going to be a some sort of generator or main power source in here, and it might make sense that this Arcanum is powering it.
So we have a magical device
Yeah,
powering something because there's an awful lot of sparks that's going off.
yeah,
We don't know what it's powering yet.
no. As you have that thought, we hear the sound of stone sliding on stone,
What a surprise!
and the stone lid of the sarcophagus slides off,
And
and there's
goes up.
movement inside it. And at this point, we're going to take a break.